All right, it looks like we are live, both with our wonderful folks there on Facebook and then on YouTube and on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it today. I think we've got everybody up going. You guys know what to do. The early arrivals, give us hearts, give us thumbs up, say something in the say something box. Let us know that the audio is good and that the video is good. And that way we can kind of get on down the tracks and get on with what we're going to be doing today. Kelly is watching. Ryan jumping in there. Our first folks on Twitter Live or X Live or whatever it is. YouTube getting in there. Don't forget, please use the text line when you want to comment off of the Twitter Live and YouTube Live feeds. 806-772-0197. Multiple streaming platform. That's the easiest way we make sure we don't miss anybody. Heck, if you're on Facebook Live and you want to talk to us that way, you can indeed text it in, just like the old radio show. 806-772-0197. Damon says the talking box is on. We agree, the talking box is on. Not bad. Pretty smooth today. Craig's watching. Kelly wants to go. We're getting there. We're almost going. We're nearly going. We like to, like I said, let a few folks get in. You can share this, by the way, invite folks into the conversation and hang out with us here on a Monday evening where might some showers here in West Texas popping up around the New Mexico line, drifting towards the east. We'll see if that little Theta E ridge kicks in tonight for us on the forecast. Let's do it in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. You start your day every day with us there on the website. We give you the question of the day. Today you were power ranking teams in order of likability coming in to the new Big 12 from the Pac-12. So if you want to jump on that, you can. You can use the text line 806-772-0197. Or if you're with us on Facebook, you can just comment away. We're coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. If your air is not Arctic, and it wasn't 108 today, but it was humid and sticky. It was still summer and it was still hot. Call the Bear, callthebear.com. Also by Boots City, 1 saving mile outside the West Loop on 19th Street. It's back to school time. They've got everything you need, shirts and breeches and hey dudes and new boots. You need a back to school hat, they'll get you taken care of. Tell them we said hello when you drop out there to Cody Woods' place at Boots City. Also brought to you by The Reserve. It's a culinary tavern. It's where Chef Willie is cooking these days. If you loved him and you love the crew there at Nick Sports Grill Lounge, this is the second generation, just down the street from the old place. It's not really new anymore, but just a good place to hang out. They do a fine Saturday and Sunday brunch as well. And even though it's not a sports bar, don't worry, you're always going to be able to watch the games at The Reserve. About 103rd and Quaker, right there. In the weird, it's The Reserve, a culinary tavern. It's in the Reserve Shopping Center. What were the odds? What were the odds of that happening? That's insanity at its finest. All right, let's get it going with you tonight. It's Monday. That means you hand out your Raiderland helmet stickers. Anyone and everyone deserving of a little recognition, sports or otherwise. And I wrote this morning. I get it. It's not the easiest time. Not a whole lot of games and everything going on, but don't have to have games to have somebody get a little recognition. So I trust you guys to be able to do that today. Let's hand those out. Coaches poll is out for the first time since 2008. Texas Tech preseason ranking, number 24. What was it? I think 4 of the Big 12 teams, the future Big 12 teams, take out Texas and Oklahoma, making the top 25 there. What do you think? Do you like Texas Tech starting off at 24? Is it too high? Do you think it's too low? You like that? That's a little bit of pressure. That's a little expectation on this team going into the season. I'll tell you one thing, Joey McGuire likes it. He made no bones about it over the weekend during the media availabilities. He wants expectations. He wants high expectations. He wants people to be talking about Texas Tech and saying, that's a good team. He's not one of those guys who, golly bum, we just won't sneak up on them and maybe we'll have a chance. And, golly, everybody we play, is 50 times better than us. And we're just honored to be on the stage with them. I mean, if we can just have a chance. No, Joey McGuire wants to kick your ass and he's going to tell you about it. He wants the expectations. He wants the players to perform and work and have the mindset of, yes, We want the expectations. That's a good thing. I hope you behave that way in your own house with your kids. Chris says it's fine. I don't take much credence in preseason. No, but I would rather be thought well of. If anybody's going to think of me, than not thought well of. And if we're going to do them, you might as well be in them. Andy finally getting in moderately early on the broadcast today. You guys can text in as well. If you're on the Twitter or the X feed there and on the YouTube channel, use the text line 806-772-0197. Talking about Texas Tech, preseason ranking 24. We're handing out helmet stickers today. We'll talk about the ACC. Are they really looking at Stanford and Cal? I don't think so. Stanford and Cal looking at them? Of course they are. A helmet sticker to the guy who found my wife's class that she lost 10 years ago in the bottom of the lake. That class ring, I'm going to assume that that's a class ring. Is that what you're trying to tell us there, Craig? That somebody found your wife's class ring she lost 15 years ago? Bottom of the lake. Okay, so now I got to guess which lake. Class ring. Lake Tanglewood. Was it Tanglewood up by Amarillo, by Canyon? Meredith's too deep right now. It's got to be a pretty shallow lake. Tanglewood's pretty deep too right now. This is intriguing. Now I'm intrigued on which lake it was. Michelle jumping in. The ACC is in panic mode. The ACC is not in panic mode. Florida State is in panic mode because they can't get out. Now, this would be a beautiful poison pill if say Florida State and North Carolina and a few others convinced some of the other teams, yeah, hey, let's let Cal and Stanford in, open up the grant of rights, and we'll tear up this big old contract at 2036, and we won't have any reason. And then they left. Oh, Nasworthy, wow, that's not a small lake. Goodness gracious. How the hell did they find it? Please tell me this was in the shallows and somewhere like that. I'm not overly concerned with how this ring was found. See, the ACC is not looking to expand. The ACC is trying to keep from collapsing. And if they did open up the grant of rights, that would be the end of it. And if Stanford and Cal had any value to bring to a conference, they'd be in the Big Ten. They'd be in the Big 12. The ACC payout is less than the Big 12. I don't know how many of you guys realize that. They make less money. The Clemsons and the Florida States, and they make less money than you make in the Big 12. That if those schools really brought something, there would have been more than the talk of the alliance and Jim Phillips. So I think, by the way, is going to get run out of the ACC because I think the Northwestern scandal is going to come down around on him eventually. And as it's been kind of shoved to the back burner by conference realignment, that Northwestern story ain't going anywhere. He's got his own problems. So the ACC, if the schools not named Florida State, Clemson, and North Carolina want to have a conference, they can't open up anything. You can't bring anybody in. He has zero desire to bring in Cal and Stanford to the ACC. They don't do anything. It was found in the swimming area in 8 feet of water, found at Scuba Metal Detecting, which is one of my favorite album titles by the band Anthrax, Scuba Metal Detecting. Great album. About 1991, Anthrax, Scuba Metal Detecting. Yeah, makes sense. Very cool. They were able to track you down. How long did it take them to find you? Of course, in this day and age of social media and everything, it's not that difficult, but we have this love story here that the ring was found, not the wedding ring, but the last ring. There's Nasworthy. It's helmet sticker day. Who gets yours? Can we give another helmet sticker to Zach Thomas? He gave me a reason to watch the Hall of Fame ceremony inductions. And I'll say this, by the way, text in if you want to, 806-772-0197. Get your comments heard if you're watching on Twitter Live or YouTube Live. I hadn't paid attention to the Hall of Fame ceremonies in years. Years. Thank God he was the first one up. And if you're Zach Thomas, it was sort of like being one of the early people to walk at a graduation. You guys know what we're talking about here. That you go up, and I was one of those people one time through just blind luck. It had nothing to do with my academic standing. For whatever reason, for some reason, I walked early. But that was the deal. He walked early, and then you've got to sit through everything else when all you want to do is crack open a cold one and get on to the party. And he says Zach was greatness. I only watched the Hall of Fame game to hear Zach Thomas's interview. Hall of Fame game, by the way, the other night, the ratings were incredibly good. They torched the NBA Finals, the preseason game, featuring guys who will be driving Dr. Pepper trucks in 2 weeks. The power of the NFL is amazing. Amazing. See, I got to watch right off the bat. It was early, and I kept flipping back over, and it was still going, and it was still going, and it was still going. And you know, Zach had to be sitting there going, man, we have got some beverages to be drinking. Somebody sneak me something over here. I'm a Hall of Famer. I think those Hall of Fame jackets come with like an extra little flask pocket or something. It took him about 4 days to track you down. Not bad. Found you through Messenger. This is a cool story. It's making my day. Chris says, now you got Tampa jersey displayed in the Hall of Fame. Yep. The Harvesters. They're in that Hall of Fame. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, he did a good job on the speech. And I kept thinking, I put this on Twitter over the weekend. By the way, get your helmet stickers out there today. Anyone and everyone who deserves a little recognition, sports or otherwise. We can talk about, there were reports way early in the day about the Big 12 possibly looking at taking in some of the Pac-12. No. There's no more coming in from the Pac-12 to the Big 12. Brett Yormark got what he wanted. Nobody else does anything. Although I will get to Washington State and Oregon State in a moment, and I think something hilarious may play out, and I'm here for it. Because it reminds me a couple of years ago about what we thought might happen with Iowa State. Anyhow, you can get your thoughts and comments in on that. So Zach Thomas, basically the same dude I knew when he was at Texas Tech. And the limited interactions I've had over the years since he left Tech, pretty much the same guy. And he was the same guy talking up there on the stage, delivering that. And that's why people like him. He's authentic. He's rare. He's pretty much got the same core values he had all the way through. Now, he's wiser, he's older, he's Hall of Famer, all of those things. Yes, we do get older, we do get wiser, we become more worldly in different aspects. But he is a rare individual that the core aspect of who Zach Thomas is still pretty much today who it was when I knew him when he was 18, 19, 20 years old. And I had some fun Zach stories that I may share one day. I don't know. They're kind of not personal. That sounds overly dramatized, but it's just some cool interaction that we had that it just, and maybe that's one of those things where you just say, hey, he was a cool dude. He was a nice guy. He was a good dude. Brett hanging out, watching. Everybody, cheers to Brett for getting in today. Yeah, the end is closed right now to the Big 12. Unless things spin out of control and the SEC starts adding some teams and the ACC does become open for poaching, then you might take two. You might take a couple. I do believe still Brett Yormark really wants to add some basketball only if he can find the right value. And now if you're UConn, boy, that's, where do you want to be if you're UConn? You can't take UConn all four, all major sports, all sports. It's basketball only. I still don't think they're going to make that move. Gonzaga will do it on a heartbeat. Could you find another dance partner to bring in with Gonzaga if you wanted to add two non, basketball playing only? I don't know who that would be right now that just immediately drives the bus that you could, they could do that. But Brett Yormark wants to do it. And so far, Brett Yormark, what he wants, he's got. Let's hand a helmet sticker to Josh Young. He was, up until yesterday, the presumptive American League Rookie of the Year. Now with a broken thumb, out about 6 weeks, give or take. That might be enough to derail the chances. He should be back by the end of the regular season. The problems continue for the Rangers. I'm not going to be shocked if they don't make the playoffs. All right. The Astros are going to run them down. I just can't see the Rangers holding this thing together. But we give him a helmet sticker because he's had a hell of a year. He has done everything and more. Just the bad breaks right there on double play and end up busting up the thumb. Chris, is there an appetite right now for the networks to spin off the basketball TV deal? Yeah, there will definitely be an appetite for that because they are seeing that they're going to be spinning off eventually the football deal and that the conference idea of buying all sports is going to go away completely. What better way to break it out effectively than to do that with the best basketball playing conference that now stretches across 4 time zones, more or less, across the country, giving you great volume. And that's the beautiful thing about basketball. How many football games do we play? 12. I mean, basketball play nearly 30. Basketball, the networks love basketball. They love it. They can play every night of the week, every day of the week. No problem. It is amazing content. It occurs at a time of year when a lot of people around the country, bad weather, it's cold, you're not outside, you're not competing. You are competing with the NBA, but you're not competing with the NBA for a large portion of it. Only an occasional Saturday or Sunday. Once you hit January, are you competing against the NFL? You can work around that. It is great content. Do the networks have an appetite paying for that? Yes, they do. 100% they do. Plus, that is also where you can get more streaming because, again, there is a plethora of games, and not every game can be on Big Monday, Big Tuesday. And that's where we've already seen the ESPN Plus has been fantastic. I think if you're a Texas Tech fan and you don't like ESPN Plus, something's wrong with it because it has been fantastic. And you're going to see more and more of that. That's why we said last week, part of the things that you do as a Tech fan, you sign up for these deals now. You drive the metric numbers. You watch Tech on streaming whenever you get a chance because that's a provable number that says you're out here, says you're out there. Let's see. Reagan says Rangers are historically notorious, easy for you to say, about falling short or trading off top shelf players aside from the runs they had in 10 and 11. Yeah, that's been the history of the franchise. Tell me. More people watch college basketball than the NBA. That is factual. I think Yormark is going in for the kill with the Big East like he did with the Pac-12. Not really. There's no need to kill it. It's not a threat. It is nothing that is going to hurt the Big 12 in any form or fashion, even on the basketball court. It's just a matter of if you could get a UConn, then you would absolutely take a UConn. It's not so much that you become stronger by killing off the Big East in basketball the way you became stronger by killing off the Pac-12, the way the Big Ten and the SEC and everybody benefited by killing off the useless Pac-12. Chris, I've watched more basketball and baseball the last several years because of ESPN Plus. Absolutely. Andrea watching. Good to have you out there, Andrea. Hope the day was good. Tech football, preseason ranking 24, first time in a long time. People are paying attention to what Joey McGuire is doing. I consistently hear in a lot of the media I consume nationally that Texas Tech is a lot of people's kind of dark horse team out of the Big 12, that if you get past Texas, if you get past TCU, Kansas State, if you get past that, they go, yeah, watch out for Texas Tech. They might do something. If this team can figure out how stadium last year, watch out. Can Tyler Shuck stay upright? I think that's a big question mark, even though we love Baron Morton. History tells us that your starting quarterback is going to miss a game or two, so you better have a good 2 quarterback. Texas Tech has a really good one in Baron Morton. Andy talking about Big East, New York TV market. Yeah, Eastern Seaboard, Philly, New York, D.C. I mean, the Big East is the Big East. And it is a passionate basketball market that they control typically. Thoughts on Arizona State president and AD less than stellar comments about the Big 12? You want my thoughts? There you go. You make it easy for us to not like you. You make it easy for us to look around and go, Ray Anderson, how the hell did you get a job as a major college AD? The president, not much better. They need to sit down and shut up and be glad they got a seat on the bus because it very easily could have gone the other way. Now, the Utah people, their leadership has been a little bit better here lately. Their fans are horrible. So we don't like on the power ranking, Arizona State, we don't like them because it seems like a top-down problem there at Arizona State. If you wonder why they've had problems, all you need to know, the Arizona State president, and to a lesser extent, Ray Anderson, huge enablers of Larry Scott. That's who they are. Watch out for these people. Don't let them have any power in the new Big 12. Don't let them have any decision-making. Don't let them be on any boards. Don't let them do anything. You get to come in. You get to play games. We will go to Tempe. The weather's nice, but it's still the only place I ever had a basketball game rained out while I was calling it on the air. Somebody had one job to do, close the roof in case it rained there at Chase Field. What could we not do? We could close the roof when it rained. I guess a roof guy was home that night. So yeah, Arizona State, you make it easy for us to not like you right now. We saved your butt. Robbie Robbins, the Arizona president, saved your butt. By the way, his press conference today was very illuminating. You can go back and read some of the stories about how those final hours played out. And he gets a call 10 minutes before the last Pac-12 meeting from either I think it was the Oregon president CEO who called him because, according to Robbins, they use the term, yeah, we're taking our talents to the Big Ten. And that sounds like an Oregon kind of phrase. That just sounds like a Nike kind of deal. But 10 minutes before this is all going to go down, they're going to sign blood oath grant of rights. Oregon is calling up Arizona. Washington is calling up, Arizona State, Utah, saying, yeah, about this whole deal, we're leaving in 10 minutes. Just thought you should know. That's how crazy dysfunctional the Pac-12 has been. But back to your point, I don't think much of them. They are a huge reason why the Pac-12 has struggled over the last decade. Talking about Arizona State leadership, they're damn lucky they're where they are. All right, so let's go back to the Pac-12 a little bit. And we could very well have a situation where, okay, so Cal and Stanford refused to have anything to do with the Mountain West merger. They don't have anything to do with it because they're just too good for that. Now, they're too stupid to realize they're toast, they're done. And you can kiss, by the way, Cal and Stanford Olympic sports goodbye. I saw that yesterday, Pat Forty writing last night, that, by the way, the days of America dominating the Olympics are all over because Cal and Stanford are going to lose the gravy train that was being supported by the Pac-12, and all their Olympic sports are done. Boo frickin' who. There are other places you can go swim, fence, row, play tennis, do whatever it is that you do out there. Boo frickin' who. But they're too good to be a part of that. So they're going to die on the vine, apparently. Now, there's a meeting tomorrow, Cal talking about their Pac-12 membership. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? That they literally do think in some circles out there that they just show up at the ACC. That they just show up and they're in. I'm not kidding. There are people who believe that out there. So it reminds me of the joking scenario that we thought might actually play out 2 years ago, that had the Pac-12 absorbed certain teams out of the Big 12, Oklahoma and Texas obviously going, that the Big Ten might take Kansas. That Kansas basketball would have been enough for the Big Ten maybe to take them in, potentially the ACC with Notre. That there was this crazy scenario that we wake up one day and the only two schools collecting grant of rights money were Iowa State and Kansas State. That they had nowhere to go. And they became the de facto Big 12. Everybody paid them money for 2 years. They brought in teams from the AAC and backfilled a little bit with this, and then that was the deal. That scenario could be playing out in front of your eyes right now with Oregon State in Washington State that they could wake up one day in the next few months that everybody's gone in some form or fashion, but they are the Pac-12. Now, the joke of it all, the sad joke is there's no grant of rights money coming to them. All they get is the name. That why all of this played out the way it did play out is because these schools don't have to pay anybody anything because they allowed their grant of rights, their TV contract to expire, unlike what the Big 12 did, unlike what other teams, other conferences have done. And now, even if they do end up the only two teams in the Pac-12, all they've got is a name. That's it. They don't have anything. They are weird in the head out there in Berkeley. You're telling me. I've been out there several times. All right, a few more minutes for you guys to get in. Hand out your helmet stickers. Who deserves a little recognition? Hopefully you're starting your day with us at TheRaiderland.com. Hot links every day. New segment. Scouring the internet, bring you some cool links, some different things you may have missed. That's my commitment to you. So each day you ought to go there, find some fun stuff. And if you want to contribute, you can post some links in the comment section and say, hey, you might have missed this, and we'll put it in the next day's links if it's pretty good. So check it out, TheRaiderland.com, every day, question of the day. Tomorrow, 2-word Tuesday. We give you a topic. You give us 2 words for it. I still love the what's underrated this week. And I'm thinking about making that a Tuesday deal. I don't know. You guys liked it. You guys like talking about things that are underrated. We just only got so many days of the week, and I can't figure out which day it fits best on, and I'm leaning towards Tuesday. You guys good with that? Everybody okay? If we did on Tuesdays, what's underrated this week? You can tell us what's underrated. Yeah, I don't know. Tech 24 in the coaches poll. We've talked about that tonight. We've handed out the helmet stickers, Stal Camford, the ISU joke. What else? Yeah. Very cool. By the way, if you have gone to the website, you go to the website. In those links, I link to a very cool promotional film released in 1947 about Texas Tech. It is a really cool watch if you've never seen it. I'd seen it a while back and kind of stumbled across it recently. Mental note, so I need to put this out sometime. Shout out, hat tip to Mike Ogletree Productions, Ogle Pro on the YouTube channel. He's got a lot of cool Texas Tech stuff there. We're going to highlight some of it. But yeah, go to the website, TheRaiderland.com. In the hot links section from today, there's a lot of awesome stuff there. I hope you'll check it out. And we'll have more for you tomorrow. All right, it comes that time when we've got to say goodbye. We say goodbye to the Twitter and the YouTube folks first. Do we end the broadcast? Yes, we end the broadcast.